Now it's jazz, the place is roaring, all beautiful girls in there, one mad brunette at the bar drunk with her boys. One strange chick I remember from somewhere wearing a simple skirt with pockets, her hands in there. Short haircut, slouched, talking to everybody. Up and down the stairs they come. The bartenders are the regular band of Jack and the heavenly drummer who looks up in the sky with blue eyes, with a beard. He's wailing beer caps of bottles and jamming at the cash register, and everything is going to the beat. It's the beat generation, it's Bayat. It's the beat to keep, it's the beat of the heart. It's being beat and down in the world, and like old-time lowdown. And like in ancient civilizations, the slave boatmen rowing galleys to a beat.
Hey guys, calling back with another vinyl update and some other stuff. Okay. Those of you who don't want to see the other stuff, you can just click off after I show the records. Anyway, I was downtown yesterday and I picked up a couple of $6 records at our antique mall, and I couldn't remember if I had this Twisted Sister. I know I have a 45 with the same cover, but I don't think I have the whole album, so I went ahead and grabbed it for $6, and it's in good shape, and I figured, why not? You know, they're probably going to have the reissue for $50 at some point. If they don't already have it. I probably do. And you've all seen this Elvis Moody Blue for $6. But it's the black one. Yay, the black one. If you don't know, the black one's a little more rare and hard to find. And for $6, I thought that's a real bargain, because if you look on eBay, there's people trying to sell this for $100 and up. Which is also very crazy. And I have this one. I have no idea what it is. I just grabbed it because it looked interesting. And it's No More Cocoons. The Jello Biafra spoken word album. And I don't know what it is, but it appears to be from the 80s. Because some of the titles are Vietnam Never Happened, What Reagan Didn't Know, Your Analysis is Freedom, Names for Bands, Talk on Censorship, Letter to Tipper Gore, Why the Space Shuttle Blew Up, Stars and Stripes, Corruption, and that's on the Alternative Tentacles label. Take it out and show you, which some of you may not have seen. The Alternative Tentacles label, which I don't have any of those yet, and I have no idea what this is because I have not listened to it just yet. And next we have the brand new, just came out, Dwight Yoakam, Secondhand Heart. I haven't listened to this yet either. I don't know what the songs are, but it's Dwight Yoakam, and I pretty much like all of his albums, so I went ahead and picked up the new one. I didn't really care for this group back in the 80s when they were popular, but now I hardly ever hear their songs on the radio. So I picked up Daryl Hall and John Oates' Private Eyes. I miss some of those songs from the 80s, which you hardly ever hear anymore. I miss the old radio stations too, where they actually had DJs there. I noticed about half, or even more than half, 90% of our radio stations are just a computer somewhere pre-recorded, spitting out the same 20 songs every hour and a half or hour. And it just over, you can listen to it 1 hour, the next hour they're playing the same songs over again, so I pretty much know it's pre-programmed. Radio just isn't what it used to be anymore. And next we have X-rated Blowfly. Electronic banana. Now Blowfly is it is X-rated. I'm not even going to show you the titles on the back because I don't want to offend any of our lovely ladies that might be watching. But he has some very explicit lyrics. He's a really old guy now, and there's a documentary on YouTube about him. It's about an hour and a half, and I'll leave that link at the bottom if anyone cares to watch that. Blowfly. It's really funky, explicit lyric music. and then lastly, I got this one in the mail. Courtney Barnett. This is her new album. Most anticipated albums of 2015. Includes digital download. Sometimes I sit and think, and sometimes I just sit. If you haven't listened to any of her music, check her out. And on to the other items. This is where you can cut it off. If you don't want to look, cut it off, you dirty bastards. Okay, a couple of comic books. I picked up some comics, a stack, but I'm only going to show a couple here. First one is from this is from 1978. Do you dare enter the house of mystery? Is there vengeance after death? 3 frightening tales. I think I mentioned this before. I used to collect comics and I got rid of all of them, which I shouldn't have. But I'm going to start again, but I'm just going to collect these horror related comics. And this one is the House of Mystery. And the host in this one is named Kane. And he's the caretaker. There's Mr. Kane there. He sort of looks like Rumpelstiltskin or somebody. But this is a place where things happen. Strange things, unexplainable, unbelievable things. This is a gateway and it leads to the hidden world beyond a world you may visit if you dare enter the House of Mystery. There are forgotten places on this globe of ours, small patches of earth where no man's foot has trod in decades, and where the weeds have grown over our history's secrets lurk, secrets that I shall make known to you. For I am Kane, the caretaker of the House of Mystery, and if you let me, I will take care of you. But these old comics are really interesting. The artwork's great, and they always have these cool advertisements for toys and things, and this one has a Star Wars digital watch you can send off for if you collect enough points or something, and the Battlestar Galactica model kits on the back of it. The House of Mystery. And next we have, this is from 1971. It's midnight, the witching hour. What evil haunts this house? Who's knocking? Is it you, Father? And this one has a witch sort of as a little host right there. And these also had these crazy, if you all remember these advertisements for the insult, you know, the guy, the little skinny guy gets sand kicked in his face, and then he goes and takes this stuff for exercise thing or whatever, and he gets big and bulky. You remember this? And again, the artwork is really cool. The lamp that changed people. If you get some of those old come across any of those old Ripley's or Believe It or Not books, they have the same type of drawings in them, which is cool. And this one has a section where you can write into wishful thinking. Let's see, I think it was this one had it. No, it was the other one. Anyway, and there was always a bunch of cool little toys and gadgets you could send off for. I know for sure I had the safe book, and I got the X-ray specs because I wanted. Well, you don't need to know what those were for. And let's see what else. The Raquel Welch pillow. I didn't have that, but I bet that was cool. Okay, and lastly, well, not lastly, I have some more stuff. I found these old puzzles, and this one's from 1956. The Lone Ranger, which is cool. I had to look it up to find out when it was from. And that's from 1956. The little puzzle shapes are like cowboy hats and stuff. And next is this guy, which I believe is either Gene Autry or... At the moment, I can't think of the other guy's name. Maybe you can remember for me. You can tell by that face. And I'm assuming this is probably around the same time period as that one. And also this has the puzzle shapes like chaps and cactuses and a wagon, a horseshoe. You can't see here too good. And the last puzzle is Indian Chief from United Artists Motion Picture, starring George Montgomery and Brenda Marshall. And you know this is not a real Native American guy. This is some white dude in makeup, and but I got it just because it's old and yeah, it's interesting to look at. I don't know if I'll hang that anywhere. There's a Thunderbird, some longhorn horns, a teepee, a buffalo, a moon. I've never seen this movie. I'll have to look that up, I guess. And lastly, you all know I like these old Pulp Fiction books, and this one is When Dorinda Dances, a Mike Shane mystery. There's no year on this, so I don't quite know what year it's from. I'd say 50s. It was a quarter. Here we go. I'm living in hourly fear of death. I witnessed with my own eyes the lust for murder etched on a face of a man, monstrous, fiendish, evil. I can't walk alone with this fear any longer. That's what the man said, the frightened man who came to Mike Shane begging for protection. But Mike had a case already, a dilly of a case, tracking down the most beautiful dancer in Miami, who performed naked in a hot spot when she should have been home in bed. What was the strange connection between the two cases? It took Mike Shane a couple of corpses to find out. But when he did, it turned out to be one of the damnedest jobs he'd ever handled. When Dorinda Dances. I just love some of the words and things in this. I mean, who says dillied? It was a dilly of a case. Okay, well, you get it. And that's the stuff for now. Until next time, calling over and out, and Weirdos Unite.